I'll just end from my side with like, can we make socially rebellious art in a socially rebellious way? Like I think we all love, you know, art that speaks to the oppression that we live under and the suffering we live under, and even interrogates like the structural dimensions of it. But it's like, at what point can that awesome stuff be connected to counter infrastructure and counter institutions that have real world implications, liberatory implications for cultural and artistic laborers, you know, like to where it can be used as a spaceship for the people who make art to be free, you know, to get free within this world. And that's like
the goal of the show.
Yeah. And it's also like, it is sort of, I don't want to say it's a curse to like carry that perspective or see things through that lens. You describe it as like seeing the Matrix binary code, like looking out and just seeing the code and everything. And it does kind of suck in a lot of ways, because you can go and you can watch an amazing thing or listen to, I mean, music is different, I guess, but also not in different ways. But you can go and like, quote unquote, consume this quote unquote revolutionary piece of art and be like, damn, like that was badass. And then you're like 90% sure that it was created through exploitative means.
Curbs the enjoyment of just about every single thing.
And to be clear, it's not, when I say through exploitative means, I'm not talking about there's no ethical production and, you know, consumption under capitalism level of it. I'm talking about people had others working under them in like a hierarchy,
right?
Probably getting paid, you know, poorly or whatever, even
and
if
certainly
it's the
had
standard.
no input into what they were being paid.
Right. or okay, let's say that wasn't the case. Maybe I'm thinking about someone who maybe they get bankrolled they're still getting bankrolled by this big ass fucking exploitative company that's
right.
So maybe people weren't exploited in the making of the art, but the money that funded it and the distributor of that thing is just fully, it's like Amazon Sandbox, but you built this cool sandcastle in it with your friends in a cooperative way, and then the Amazon teacher comes and goes, all right guys, get out of the sandbox, it's time to sell this baby.
Right.
We're gonna throw a lacquer on this and then sell the whole sandbox with the sandcastle in it. Beautiful work, by the way.
They're literally taking a bulldozer to the beach and picking it up and putting it on a truck. Don't touch it. It's worth a lot.
Exactly.
I mean, you mentioned my whole Matrix thing, and I think the Matrix was not about socialism. It was about, you know, it was further than that. And I feel like understanding socialism or just anti-capitalism, capitalism, whatever, imperialism, these things, that's knowing you're in the Matrix. That's like being one of the people on the Matrix ship. And you're like, oh, I'm part of it. I get it.
Right.
And then once you understand that like human beings,
power,
like were in communities where there wasn't all these structures.
Right.
And then you start to question, why do those structures exist? How did they start?
Right.
Are they that old to begin with? All these questions. That's when you see the fucking code of the Matrix.
Having a conception of the alternative.
People
actually.
And
people forget
it's hard
about Zion,
because
bro.
you can turn to your other fucking leather-clad, your fucking leather-clad, sunglasses wearing, you know, Nebuchadnezzar bunkmate. And they're like, what are you talking about? I don't see that shit.
Right.
Like, I don't see the code. What are you talking about? Nah, I think you're getting a little too lost in the weeds, man. Like,
I see it. I see it. Are we looking at the same thing? We're not
I
looking at the
appreciate
same...
you saying that, because
but that's how I always think about it, because it's like it's frustrating because you're on the same team, but you're also a hindrance. Like you're making this shit harder.
It feels like a lot of people like it's like if Neo came out of the fucking pod and then just like hung out with all the other people that are still in the pods.
Yeah,
just looking around like,
this is crazy.
You guys, are you guys seeing this?
Yeah,
I wanted to
hold on, excuse me. Are you guys seeing this? You guys,
I wanted to say I'm glad you said that because, like, there's this initial reaction when you say some of the things that even I just said and I understand all of them. I really do. You're delusional. What do you think we're going to do? What do you think is going to happen? This is tied directly to what you're saying.
Right.
But then also like this another thing of like, oh, well, they're trying. What are you doing? Or what have you done? Or it's the defensiveness of like you're just trying, literally like you're just trying to shit on someone or something because you just want to be a contrarian or whatever. And that is understandable because those people exist.
yeah.
They exist. They're
Right.
fucking annoying as fuck. We all know them. We encounter them all the time.
Yeah.
But for us, it really is. It's like, wait, hold on. There is another option. But it's the frustration for me is like, I can't act on that by myself.
Mm.
That alternative is like contingent on me working in concert with enough people who understand that and like can cultivate the trust in other people and themselves for us to move on that actually. And it's a fucking nerve-wracking thing to try and do at any scale, you know? And
but
like
the funny thing though is, man, it's like you say that it is contingent on other people, and also kind of like thank God it is. But also, if there's the three of us, there's 3 million of us. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah.
So then it's just the
there's
game
got
of reaching
to be.
them.
Yeah.
There's 8 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
So then it's just this the game of trying to reach them, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
And then and like trying to organize in a way where you sense that there's a way to establish that there is a critical mass and also a critical trust in that critical mass and consensus and leveraging that for like a movement that can lead to systems change, like actually material, social,
Yeah, we're the
all of that.
we're the people on the Titanic running around being like, we're building a boat, we're building a new one. Yeah, we're literally right now.
We got the parts. We're
like, yeah. It's like, come on. But it's hard because you're on a fucking burning, sinking ship and you're trying to find people.
Right.
And they're like, what the fuck are you talking? I'm going to the rescue boat.
Right.
Right. Oh, I feel like I want to maybe clarify something you said earlier, because I've gotten this question before when I brought it up, but just like the fact that there are degrees of exploitation, but it is still exploitation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because like,
Yeah.
It's related to what we were talking about last time too, on
Yeah.
with slavery, the spectrum of slavery.
Yeah, and because I've had people ask me like, because I think I pointed it out with someone, I forget who it was or what the scenario was, but it was like a relatively tame form of it. But the person came back immediately, just like, how are they being exploited? What are you talking about? And it's as simple as somebody else is making money off of them for not doing the work that they're doing. You know, it's like, it's that simple. Your boss is exploiting you. The CEO of whatever fucking company you work for is exploiting you. Even if they're nice about it, it's still exploitation. It's the same thing.
Imagine
you know?
having to ask your friend to spend time with your family and then waiting for them to approve it.
Right.
It's
right.
like,
It's
I don't
like,
care if you make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. You are still under that. Like,
yeah. Not even
it's
ask.
just what you can get away with at a certain point.
Not even ask your friend. Even if it's a given, like you can just go if you say it. Imagine having to communicate that to your friend.
Right.
Imagine your friend demanding that, like, yeah, it's cool if you hang out with your family. Just let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Right.
What do you mean?
Right.
This reminds me of the Mark Cuban TikTok you
Oh,
sent
that
me.
was so funny, bro. I was not expecting you to react like that. It was so funny. You
No,
thought that
no.
was so funny.
No, I was dying
was it?
laughing. I'm gonna You're gonna have to splice in the clip for
Are you just gonna show it to him? Just show it to him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna try and pull it up really quick.
It's what I said to see.
Hold on.
I would rather work 80 hours a week to make $50K and work for myself than have a $75,000, $100,000 job working for somebody else.
So Connor,
And it's like, that's so ill, bro.
So Connor texts me that, and he's like, "It's funny because you're like the lawful good version of this," and I died laughing at that. And I said the idea that
I'm like, that's some shit Z would say, but like in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said the idea that I could step into a room with this fool and passionately agree with him on something like this is fucking hilarious.
That's so funny to me that there are people like that who have opinions like that, but the actual like practical part of it is like they're just like, hey, just don't get got, bro.
Yeah,
right.
kill or be killed, kill or be killed, and I'm doing the killing, bitch.
I'm doing the killing, dog.
It's actually sad. Like it's
so sad.
It's like you have
Dude, there was
somehow
a third
worked.
option.
Yeah,
Mark
Right.
Cuban.
It's so sad.
Right.
It's like, dude, you are brilliant at gaming this system.
Yeah.
Like that's impressive as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And you
Right.
admire it at a certain
Even
level.
the most psychopathic people right now. Like that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Right.
But it's like, damn, what if you just like took that power and like helped other people? Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
not helped in
Yeah.
terms of giving them turkeys
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving,
Now, like,
but,
here's a tip, kid.
but make
Don't get
make
shot
it
out
so
there,
that
you
they
know?
never face the same thing that you
Yeah.
were
And,
you've been
and
running away from your whole life.
some of them do that. Like there's like financial advisors and shit out there. Like Dave
Yeah.
Ramsey's like, oh, you can get out of debt. Like it's like, it's funny because it's
Yeah.
like, you're really like, it's pretty myopic when you think about it. It's like, we'll get you out of debt, you know, instead of like, we'll make a solidarity economy where no one, you know,
We'll get rid of debt. We'll get you off the hamster wheel of capitalism.
Yeah.
there- we won't
Right.
have debt because we'll all be, you know,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
yeah, man.
I'm gonna help you, but it's just for you.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
good
It's,
luck.
it's just for you.
Don't you tell
And when,
anybody.
we're finished,
Mhm.
you're going back on the shelf, okay, as a commodity, because you
Yeah.
have to sell yourself. You have to sell
You're
yourself.
going back
at the
to
end
that
of the
wheel, buddy.
day.
Monday
We
morning.
all
Oh, yeah.
got to do that.
Hey,
Get
good
back
luck
to the
out there.
wheel.